All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, last day of 2024.
I know. You know what the big challenge for me when the new year flips over is to remember to write the new year on.
I, I was already having to do it for future dated things. And I'm like, oh, wrong one.
I think one of the first things Right Tool did when they you know came out with their software is they made it where you could go back to the prior year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when the computer looks at the current date to put in a lot of stuff. So if you're putting in January, you want to do December, it's going to put in December of 25. And so Right Tool has a thing. Okay, use 24. So
Yes.
that's one of the first things I remember they came out with. So another reason to use Right Tool.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, yeah. But Happy New Year, everybody. And now, Donna, you going to
Yes.
stay up late and bang pots and shoot off
No,
fireworks?
we don't do that in our neighborhood. In our neighborhood, the big celebration is a Lunar New Year. That's
Okay.
when we hear stuff. Except for the Disneyland fireworks. We will hear those tonight if I stay awake, but probably not.
Yeah, I wake up and it's a whole new year. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. All right. So, a couple things just coming up in the old let's wait till the last minute with accounting world. Bench accounting is back. It got acquired. I looked at the website late last night, and it looked like it was up and running again. You could sign up, even offering a free month. So it looks like they are back up. It has a small notation that says that employers.com is acquiring them. So don't know all that backstory on it. Just know that they're back up, and we'll see what happens going forward. And the BOI reporting is on hold again. So here we go. We're back to the future.
I don't know if I was a bench customer. I mean, what I don't know what employer.com what they think they're going to be able to do differently to make a
It
pro.
remains to be seen,
So
but
so they either have to raise prices or discontinue service.
it
And
could be a good marriage though, because employer.com is a payroll company,
okay,
payroll HR, um, and benches, the accounting part of it. It could be a nice marriage if they do it right and don't screw it up. That depends on them. Now, all the employees that were laid off on the 27th with no notice, are they going to go back?
I don't know.
Maybe for a little while, maybe not. I mean, it's a lot of distaste in what they did.
Right.
So again, remains to be seen if they can pull that off. But
I,
it's a good story to watch.
I think you can still, as a pro advisor or a QuickBooks user, go out and use it to your advantage.
Oh, absolutely. You can always use it to your advantage on these kinds of things.
Right.
Um, and even just their service is not the same as something that we would give to them anyways.
Right. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
like it. A lot of people are really upset about these small companies, and I get where they're coming from. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is my feeling. We all have health care. We all need to take care of our health. Well, we have a couple of choices. We could look at WebMD and DIY it and research it ourselves to take care
Mhm.
of our health. We could do that. That doesn't cost any money to WebMD it, blah, blah, or not go to the doctor, go to, that kind of thing. Or you can pay to go, you can have an inexpensive one where when you get sick, you can go to the doc in the box, the medical something like that. Or you can pay to go to a doctor. So that's, we're the
Yeah.
doctors.
Yeah. Exactly.
If so, so I use that as an analogy all the time when I'm talking to clients. I said, here's your choice. You can be a DIYer, YouTube it, whatever. Like if you're diagnosing an illness, you WebMD. What's my problem? And try to figure it out yourself. Or you go to the doc in the box when you need a problem, they fix it. But there's no long-term healthcare initiative. Like, okay, here's how you want to stay healthy, keep healthy, blah, blah, blah. Or you can have a doctor that you go to all the time and have consistent checkups. Let's see how you're doing. We are the doctors. So if you think of it like that, and the doctors, they cost more money. So it
Yep.
depends on what level of service. If your client, I have a friend, he does not want to go to the doctor. He believes in vitamins and minerals. The guy is like on death's door all the time. But anyway, aside, he like calls up, oh, this hurts, that hurts, and Hal goes, go to the doctor, and then he goes, that costs money. And okay, and you're going to. This is what you know, but he doesn't want to pay, which is that's his
It's
choice.
okay.
So how 78, and people all the time say, I can't believe you're 78, because he runs around the house and does all sorts of stuff, and it's he doesn't hobble, and he's not using the walker with the with the tennis balls on the feet and all that. He's out there doing all the time because he takes care of his health, but he also pays for that. So we're the doctors. So find the people that want to pay for the doctors, and because that's what the level that you do. You don't have to be the DIYer that doesn't want to pay. That's not your customer. Because I saw something on. They were talking about the bench, about how much people were charging to do clients, and I'm like, you're only like $150 a month. I mean, I would not get out of bed for that. I mean,
Yeah.
and I met Samantha. She was
Yeah.
my minimum is 750. I go, good for her.
Yep.
Raise the level of what you do and the service that you bring. Don't be worried. Oh, I like, some people go, I like micro businesses that can't afford anything else. I guess if that's your business model, fine. But, let them DIY it. So anyway, but that's my philosophy. But anyway, I don't know how we got on that topic, but
It's where we go sometimes.
there we go.
But yeah, so yeah, moving on, those things are going to happen. They're going to continue to happen. Companies are going to pop up and go down and all that kind of stuff. And we just need to maintain our calm doing these things. I see so many people um, who just get so upset. Like it occupies their mind so much. I think it's an interesting story and an interesting time, but I'm not going to go out and post the kind of hate and vile things that people I see post. So,
Teresa just joined us, and she
that's
says, I would be
yeah.
reluctant to take on a bench client. They're used to paying low prices. Well, you get what you pay for. Exactly right.
Yeah.
And that is a challenge, because if you're a low price person and clients think that the service that we offer costs, I don't know what bench charges, let's say $200. That costs $200. You come in and you go, well, my service is $750 a month. What? And of course, then you have to talk about what you get instead of. And I remember when there was a girl in my town, she was a bookkeeper accountant, and she died. And I think I talked about this before. And her husband's calling around to see, can somebody take care of these customers? They have payroll, sales tax. So he called us, and I said to her, well, we'd be glad to talk to your clients. What did she charge them? Oh, she charged them a lot. Well, of course, my ears perked up. And I said, well, what was that? She's charged him $20 an hour. I said, well, I said, I said, she'll probably find somebody, you'll find somebody, but chances are you're going to have a hard time, because I pay my my Mary, who works for me, like $45 an hour.
Yeah.
I can't, you know, but what happened was, when I met these people, they go, oh, well, you charge that? I go, yes. I said, think about it like this. For the umpteen years she serviced you. You got great service at a really discounted rate. I'd love to help you, but you want to eat in Morton's Steakhouse, and you're used to eating it, paying Golden Corral prices. Not happening. So we didn't get any of her clients. I don't know what they did, but they were so used to paying such a low price that when they got to the real world, they were shocked. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you have the discovery call. You don't have to take on any clients. You just
Yeah.
tell them what the price is for your, and they can move on to, if they don't want to pay for, a company that's not going to drop them in a day and then mess around for over a weekend and cause you a lot of stress. It'll cost you a little bit more.
Well, that's why the discovery
Yeah.
call is important, because you can
Yeah.
show your
Exactly.
value.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to shop and go to places, spend my money at places that I feel important. Like that. Why do people go to Starbucks? Starbucks makes you feel important. They write your name on the cup.
Yeah.
Wawa's doesn't do that. It's still coffee. Racetrack. I love Racetrack's coffee. It's like $1, compared to Wawa's $10. But people are lining up to buy Starbucks coffee because I think Starbucks gives better service and makes you feel more, gives more, seems like perceived value than Racetrack or Wawa, even though the product is exactly the same. Some people would argue me with that, but pretty much it's coffee, you know. So
Exactly. All right.
Starbucks.
All right. So I think we beat that one up. It'll be it remains to be seen as to what happens, but you know, it's interesting. So, what else do we have going on out there? Couple things. You want to tell what you got? You got a call the other day from someone,
Yeah,
a
I got a call
colleague.
the other day from
Yeah.
somebody, was trying to find something in QBO, and they know that I'm a QBO lover, and they're getting madder and madder and madder because they can't find it. So I'm like, well, let's try this way, let's try that way. Well, that doesn't work. Well, I want it to be like this, and I want it to go like. And she's getting, her blood is boiling, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, first off, it's software. There's not a reason to get upset. Because I used to be able to do this. She was a desktop user, and she now has QBO. So that alone will tell you, because a lot of people that were on desk used to be able to do that on desktop. Okay, just all right. Well, figure out the way you do it in QBO. So I said, just go here, click that. Why are there so many clicks? I mean, so we finally discovered where she needed to go to get it. Well, there's just too many clicks to get there. Okay, I mean, just take a chill pill, man. If you can't figure it out one way, figure it out another way. You know, now I get it. Like, I know, like right now, I'm a big Sasant user, and they are coming out with a new interface that they say is better. And I had a big call with him the other night. That I was on the phone with them. I go, why do you have to change everything? Well, we think it's better. Yes, but you don't understand. I'm used to the old way. Now I'm going to have to take time and figure out the new way, which probably is better. Another way, think about it like this. Remember when the reports were in QBO and then they came out with the new modern reports?
Yes.
Everybody went crazy. Well, I started to use the new modern reports, and now only use the modern reports, because I go, oh, I like this better. But it took time to get there.
Hmm.
And of course, we never have enough time. Clients are calling, we have stuff to do. But anyway, but I think when she called me up, I said, just take a chill pill. You know, but just
Exactly. I mean, I'm like, all of us, we all have to deal with it. They're constantly changing things based on no idea that we'll ever know or why.
right,
Sometimes they have to change them. I get a little bit of clues. Sometimes they have to change the back ends because of, technology is increasing. They're constantly changing things. Just know that going in. I mean, QuickBooks Online, the updates are like, I think they're daily for little things. There's always glitches. And it's an adventure every day
it's a
in
computer.
there.
It's like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of times when people are new to QBO or something, when the bank feed comes in, it comes in with all the wrong. I said, it's a dumb computer.
Yeah. You have to
If you
teach it.
Yeah, teach it. So you see something, and all of a sudden, all of them change to that.
Yeah.
It's guessing. So you're the brain. This is
Yep.
just a dumb computer. You tell it what to do, not have it tell you. Oh,
Exactly. How many times have I had to tell people that? Hundreds of times when I'm explaining how the bank feed works,
yeah,
and they hook it up for the first time and they think, "Okay, magic, my accountant's done. I'm gonna just hit add to everything." I'm like, "Wait, stop.
right,
Uh, is this true what you did here?" And I have to walk through the areas that come in from the bank and the areas that they have to take care of. And depending on the bank, you get good details and you get bad details.
right,
And then and then sometimes you can create rules, but sometimes the rules don't work because the
right,
code changed or it just doesn't read it right. So you can get rules to, I think I can get to 90% with rules, almost
right.
100 on some of my companies depending on what they're doing. But you still have to think about your transaction. If you buy from Amazon and half of it's for one thing and half's for another, it's not going to know. No matter what you do, it's never going to know.
What I
So
came up with a
yeah.
solution for Amazon, because I used to use Dext e-commerce that would connect with Amazon, and it stopped working. So we're not using that anymore.
Oh
They
yeah.
QuickBooks Connect. They said, well, it should work. Well, it's not. But anyway, so
Yeah.
what I've done is people that are big Amazon users, I actually create an other expense account called Amazon purchases.
Mhm.
So I put it there, and then I said I use Keeper, and I go, please identify this Amazon purchase. And I'm just not worrying
Well,
about it.
yeah, I do the same thing too.
And
Is
so
it just
then
goes
under
in
the line item,
uncategorized?
so in the
Yeah.
joint accounts, Amazon purchases.
Yeah.
Because Amazon can be used. I use Amazon for everything. With my own account, I can log in and get the invoice and attach, and I'm buying office supplies, I'm buying knitting supplies, I'm buying gifts, whatever. And uh, but I know what I'm buying. I guess you could add that if they had a lot of Amazon as a service where you would log into their account and see what they purchased. I wouldn't want to do that. That's
I wouldn't want to do that ever.
you know
I
I
on mine, I'm like,
I would do
oh,
it if
what did I
they
do?
wanted me to pay me enough to do it.
Yeah, I did have a client once that wanted me to do it, and I gave them the price, and they said, "Oh, we can do it."
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of like that filing the BOI report. It's
yeah,
free for you to do. If you want me to do it, it's going to be $295.
yeah,
50, I think the house charging them.
yep,
So, because a lot of them will try it, then they go, "Well, no, you do it."
yeah.
Because
So
yeah,
it's all, yeah. I mean, I put everything in that uncategorized expenses, and then that's connected to categorize me, and then they go through and every month update it
right,
for
right,
me, and that works really well for most of the clients. There's a few that don't look at it at all, and at the end of the year, I'm like, well, update it.
right. Because when it comes to
And
tax time, I go, you're going to give this to the tax preparer, and I'm going to tell the tax preparer
yep.
because you didn't identify what these are. I'm assuming they must be personal.
Yeah, they're just going to sit in uncategorized expense, and it's going to go that way
Right,
to the in my world. It will just go that way because they told me all the accounts are business related
right,
accounts. So if they're doing other things, I don't know about it.
right,
So it just will go that way, and they'll have to sort it out. I have clients in there that have 200 transactions in there, and I have clients in there that are caught up
right,
to zero.
right,
So it's up to them. That's on them to do it, but there's a way to track it.
right,
So that's how I do it. And it doesn't make my blood boil if they don't do it every month.
right,
If they don't send me statements every month, because I have a client who has to send me statements because we can't connect to their banks because they can use some bank that has like zero tech. Um, they don't send me the statements for months. It doesn't bother me at all. You're still paying me. Send me them when you get them or when you want
right.
to. And then after so many months, there's a catch up fee. So
That's cool.
it doesn't bother me at all. We're coming on, it's the last day of the year, and I have clients who haven't sent me their statement since August. They get a $500 catch up fee.
Now, how
I'm
many
sure
does
that
that go back to? Whenever, like, okay, so now
mhm,
how far? But when do you implement the catch-up fee? How many months back before you?
three,
3.
three. And, and the fee will depend upon how much I have to, um, how hard it is to do their stuff. Most of my clients at this point, it's not particularly hard because I've made it easier for me. But through my flows and everything. So I'll just say, okay, $500, I'll catch you up. It's not my fault you didn't send me everything. You get the messages every month. It's automated. I tell you, you see them because you check them. So
Teresa says that she
mhm.
requires her clients to have an Amazon business account, not personal. Oh my God, I'm so tired of seeing personal purchases. Don't want to know if they buy underwear.
Okay, so I like this response. Okay, so I never require my clients to do anything. I like that term require. I don't require my clients to do anything. They can do whatever they want with their business. They can spend their money any way they want. They just need to tell me if it's business or not. That's
Right,
all. So when I hear people say I require my clients to, and this is not about you, Teresa. So I'm not like, but I just brought up this little like thing in me that says I don't require my clients to do anything. They do
recommend.
anything they want. Just like people don't require me to run my business a certain way. I run it the way I want. Why would I require people to do it other ways to work with me? Um, and, I don't tell them what banks to use. If they use a certain bank and it works, if not, I just charge them more. It's not a big deal for me.
Because
So,
I don't I used to require a bank when I would in the early days of QBO because
uh-huh.
not all of them connected. Now I really don't care. But
Yeah,
if I know the bank, because we get used to these banks,
yeah.
and okay, like if Hal was my customer, he starts up bank accounts all the time. He just
Yeah.
started a new one at a Pi Bank, PI Bank. It's a totally online bank, and they do
Hmm.
not connect with QBO. Now, if
Uh-huh.
he's my customer, and I say, "What's this Pi Bank transfer?" Guess what? Change, and it would be more because there is no statements that it's totally on his phone.
Yeah.
The only if you look on your phone, you can get. I don't have your phone. I
Yep.
can't. I can't log in to even get this. You're going to have to send me. Of course, now and
Mhm.
Hal is not technologically. In fact, it was funny. I forwarded him an email today from a client, and I would get my coffee, and he says to me, "Well, I can tell Jason this, but I can't write him back because I don't have his email address." I go, "Okay, I forward you the email he sent me. It's in that one." Oh,
Yeah.
I went like just shaking my head, like, "Oh, geez, how did this guy get to be 78 with not knowing this kind of stuff?" But he's technologically challenged because his thing is, I don't need to learn it. Yeah, because you have me, you know. But if you have clients that have like this Pi Bank, you have to figure out a way to get the information. But I charge more for that. I think
Yeah.
it's the most expensive.
Absolutely. So my worst customer that does this is me.
Yeah,
I'm my worst customer because I use the online banks. I don't have a brick and mortar bank. Haven't been in a bank in 10 years. I use online banks. It's on my phone. And so I know how to manage it myself. And I have other clients who are doing a lot of different things, and it's all on their phones. There are no statements. Um, so they just send me like screenshots of their phones and stuff so I can get at least totals, which is fine. I get it. It's really great for business and it's really awesome on the user side for everything they do. I like to manage my business from my phone. They like to manage their business from their phone.
right.
It does not boil my blood to do these things. I'm like, just send me the total so I can make sure it's right. And if I have a question, we'll figure it out together.
Like I know, like
So,
when I look at one client, who he has, Capital One, Chase Card, American
mhm,
Express. Those accounts are connected, but I don't get the statements. But when I look
right.
at the balance, the credit, Chase says he has this, but QuickBooks says he has this. They're the same number.
Yeah.
So why do I need to reckon, so every like end of the month, I'll go in and say, okay, here it is. Now
Yeah.
it starts to get off. I'll say, okay, I'm going to need a statement to see what the problem is. Is something in there incorrect? Because that's to me why you get a statement to see what the problem is. But if they're the
Right.
same, I
Exactly.
don't need a statement.
Exactly. And it's like I've got clients that have like capital loans from like Square and Stripe and Shopify and all, and it runs havoc. Oh, and PayPal one that runs havoc through the system.
Right.
But we can figure it out most of the time. They don't have
Get an
statements.
interest statement. Here's what I borrowed. Here,
Yeah.
12
Yes.
1. That's the only date it matters.
Yeah. So and I got the AR factoring companies that don't have statements anymore.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so that one of my largest clients has that. They don't have statements. It's just that is what it is, and it's all run by an app.
Ugh,
And so we just figure it out.
right.
It doesn't boil my blood. I don't get mad. I'm like, all right, let's start here. What are we doing? How'd you pay it? Follow. I call it the follow the money method. I
Right.
follow the money and make sure the balance is the same.
Yes.
And if you don't let it upset you,
Right.
it doesn't take so much time.
I know. Because I tell how, like, because I know how things differently, because he will
Mhm.
go take money out of this account, put it into the line of credit, because then he'll have immediate coverage, but goes in that day to pay off the line of credit. So money is moving like this all the time. Now, when he's thinking the beginning and the end. He's not thinking of all the movement of the money in
In the
between.
middle, yeah,
So I'll go, no, no. I need to know each movement of the money.
yeah,
Well, I don't know why you need to know. I need to know that. You know. So
yeah.
I got
Well, okay, so a great example of
$50
that,
here. You know.
yeah, a great example of that is PayPal.
Oh, I hate.
So PayPal, yeah, see, you say I love PayPal. But you do have to follow the money and the way that it works, because it will, okay, if there's money in the PayPal account but not enough to cover the expense, it will go tap a credit card or bank account that's
Right.
connected. Then you got to go back and figure out the difference, and a lot of people don't know that. They just think it's here and it's coming out of the bank and that's the expense. Well, really it's not. It's you had money in PayPal. It took $300, but you owed 500. So it hit your bank account or credit card for the other two. You got to record the right expense. And that's where you have to follow the money with PayPal to get all that worked out. The problem becomes when the client or yourself, if you're doing this on your own, um, doesn't doesn't understand the benefits of doing certain things. Like maybe don't connect 3 bank accounts and 2 credit cards to PayPal and then it just picks and chooses. Maybe don't do that. Because that's an accounting nightmare. Maybe just do one either credit card or bank account. Um, and then maybe like use it a certain way. Maybe don't pay for everything with it. Or in the case of one of my clients, they said, I don't want to do 1099, so I'm going to pay all my contractors through PayPal. Fine. If we're going to do it that way, then it's going to be one-to-one shots, and it's
Right.
just going to flow through the bank account out. And then we have to set up clearing account and do it that way, which
Right.
is fine. And we download once a month because I don't connect PayPal to QuickBooks because that's a nightmare. No matter what you do, it doesn't work, at least for him. And then once a month, I download all the transactions and it matches up to the clearing. And anything that's weird either is new or it got out of sync or they had money in there for whatever reason and didn't tell me, then it paid out a little bit. So, you know, and actually, that's the easiest one to do because the rules are already set up in there for PayPal. And there might be 100 transactions. With 100 transactions, you get 200 actual transactions in PayPal because it doubles it. And yeah, and then all the rules are set up so it's easy enough to take care of really quickly. But it took a while to get there. But again, PayPal is one of those ones that I give an example of all the time with money movement. And if you just do use one account, then it works much better. If you've got a client who's playing the credit card balance game, then you're going to
What's
have an
that game
issue.
that you're talking
So
about?
that's like they'll max out the credit card, then they'll have another credit card, so then they'll start using that one and max it out, and then
Oh
they'll pay a little bit here, and then yeah, I had one of those once, and I finally had to let them go because I'm like I can't even figure out what you're paying on these things, and they're using PayPal to do everything, and
yeah.
it was just a nightmare. Yeah.
I don't know why
So
PayPal.
as long as you give clients a direction on how to use PayPal to their advantage,
Right.
then it works really good and you just set it up. That's one example. There's other people who do the this is one of my favorite ones. People who do the profit first method
Ugh, another
and
one.
they're doing transfers. Like I ran into people doing those transfers daily or doing transfers off every single individual sale.
Oh wow.
That's where you have a nightmare because they got to go into 3 different bank accounts. There's zero descriptions. You don't know which one's which. It's a nightmare. I'm like, look, let's not do it with every transactions. Let's not even do it daily. Let's figure out a pattern. Maybe on the 1st and the 15th, or maybe I'm sorry, on the 5th and the 30th, or 5th and the 20th, something like that. And then you'll move your money. But no, daily transfers, that's horrible.
I have a guy that does that.
Oh,
I just
the one who was I couldn't believe this. I'm like, we want out of every single sale they made, they had it set up for a percentage on every sale to go to the bank accounts.
yeah.
And they were using a credit union, which was not working well with QBO. And they insisted that this is what they were going to do. And I said, well, go ahead and insist with somebody else because like I can't figure out the money. You don't even know what it is when I ask you and
Right.
you expect me to know what it is.
Right.
And it's just yeah, it's not going to work here.
Yeah,
So,
that always drives me nuts.
yeah.
When if they don't know, how am I going to know?
Yes. Magic.
I
That's the magic people.
I drop clients like that because I do find that frustrating.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
where I do get a little frustrated. Is where that we're going in and reviewing their books, and I'm asking questions like, "Well, I don't know," and I'm like, "You moved $10,000 out of your account, and you don't know what it was for?
right.
Well, can't you tell?" I'm like, "No,
How could I? All I
it's
see is
not
the money go
magic."
to the bank.
Yeah, and that has happened more than once. Large sums of money, and they don't know what they did, and I'm like, well, "You need to figure this out."
I
You
saw this
know,
on Facebook the other day. Somebody wanted a bookkeeper. I don't think they had much experience. Client wanted to reduce their taxable income. So I think, and they wanted to take a $25,000 distribution to reduce their taxable income. And uh, no,
no, it's not the way it works.
that's not how it works. Take a $25,000 paycheck that would reduce your income on the business, but now you have a $25,000 wage.
Yeah.
If you made profit, you pay tax.
Yes.
And then they go, well, I'm telling my client you have $25,000 in profit, so I'm telling him to go spend the money.
Oh no. Oh
No,
no, no, no.
no. I mean, no. I have a girlfriend like that. She says, well, it's tax deductible. I remember one time I walked into her house and she had a new desk. I said, oh, she goes, it's tax deductible. She paid $800 for this desk. I tell you, it was butt ugly. That aside, I go, why did you buy it? Well, it was a tax deduction. Did you need it? No, but it was a tax deduction. Ugh, I just, you know, like, you know, it's a tax deduction. Oh, okay.
I like the other my favorite one is write off. Well, it's a write off.
The write
Well,
off.
it's a write.
Yeah, it's a write off.
In fact, there's a scene in Seinfeld where they say, "Well, I don't remember the. I know it was like Kramer and Seinfeld talking, and Kramer's like, "Well, they just write it off." And he's like, "Well, what write off? What does that mean? I don't know what that means." It's like, but they do. Like it's just
They
a write
still
off.
spent the cat. Right. Teresa says stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Absolutely, they're trying to beat the
Yep.
system. It will not work.
Yep. And now this time of year, well, it's kind of over now because it's the 31st. But I mean, people reach out to me all the time. How can I avoid paying taxes? Well, you can if you made money.
Exactly.
You're gonna pay taxes.
Or
Or
the other one,
what can I write off?
they're going to write all their expenses in December.
Yeah.
Cash basis, January expenses, they're going to pay them all in December. So they will have no expenses in January.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the next year, they're going to do the same. So they write nothing in January. So now December comes around again, and they're going to write all January expenses again in December. They still have 12 months of expenses.
Yes.
Just happen to have 2 months in 1 month. It only works the first year.
Yeah. I see that all the time.
All the
I want
time.
to pay it all in December. I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna have this issue again.
Yeah, next year's going to make up next year. Or I had one client one time. I said, we have a huge receivables balance. Starting October, the receivables is starting to, ratchet up.
Uh-huh.
And as a client, I would go see once a week. And I said, John, there's nobody's paying us. So I forget the girl's name that worked there, and I really liked her. She goes, "Oh, we've gotten the money. He's not putting it into the bank." What?
Yeah.
Tax on it. I go, well, but it's called constructive receipt. You have the fact that you didn't put it in the bank doesn't mean you don't have it. That's
Yeah.
called constructive receipt.
Yeah.
So I asked him. He goes, "You're not supposed to know." He told me not to tell you. He's having an affair or something. So I said, John, I can't. We're going to need to call these customers to say why they haven't paid because it's 3 months of, and then he had an envelope with all these checks in it. I go, well, what's in the envelope? That for me? He finally admitted it. I said, it's pointless. I mean, first off, now the customers are going to be calling you to say, did you get my check? And somebody's going to have to answer the phone and explain, no, we just haven't put it in the bank yet, which pisses people off.
Yes.
So put it in the bank. Well, I want to pay income tax. Then what? Then sell. Why don't you sell it for zero?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Yeah, you still have to pay tax. It's a sale.
it's a
Ugh.
sale.
Uh,
Anyway,
yep. All right. Well, we're coming to the end of our time. So,
So I
anything
guess
else as we're.
I'll see you next year, Donna, huh?
Yes, we'll see you next year in a few hours.
Yeah. I remember Captain Kangaroo said that one day. I'll see you all next year. And I started to cry. And I said, oh, Captain Kangaroo's not going to be on for another year. My mom said, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
So,
goodness.
wish everyone a happy new year. Just stay safe out there and just look forward to really great times next year.
Yes.
Let you know we are starting up a new community. I think I put the link in, but you'll see more links coming on, and it will have a lot of free stuff, and there'll be some paid stuff in there for deeper learning if you guys want that. But yeah, that's coming next year. A lot of new things coming. We're gonna just keep
Excited, yeah.
going. Every day with me, it's like a what if we do this? What if we do
Yes.
that? So it'll be fun.
You too, Teresa.
We'll
Blessings
have a
to you.
lot of fun.
All right. See you next time.
All right, thanks. And we are out.
Well, that was fun.